Welcome to a very cold, wintry Wales. Walters Arena in Wales, a location famous for testing, rallying, doing all sorts of exciting things on loose gravel surfaces and with mud and water and splashing things and just general good stuff, which is very fitting because I've been given the opportunity for a day to drive around in this, a BOWLER Defender 90. You can tell probably from my helmet hair that I've already been having quite a lot of fun with this car, and well, here's what it looks like. Today has been a complete assault on the senses when it comes to driving, because of course I'm very used to driving very exciting things, often in motorsporty environments, but this of course is a completely different world altogether. The fact that I'm driving around in something that is as big as this, as heavy as this, and on a surface where you do a lot of sliding, but it has been fantastic. But I thought what I'd do is talk you through the BOWLER and try and explain to you just how impressive this thing is, for the simple reason that it's actually very similar to the kind of Defender that you could go into a showroom and buy. Now, there have been, of course, as you would expect, some crucial differences to the way that the car is built, but out of the box, shape-wise, it's again exactly as you would buy from a showroom. There have been repositioning of radiators, for example. In a road car, you have some ancillary radiators either side. They get relocated because of course the car may be bumping into things, but everything you see front end, including light clusters and everything else, that is exactly as you would get your road going Defender. The wheels, of course, they're changed. These are BOWLER's own wheel design. They are 30% stronger and yet lighter than the lightest road going wheel that you can get for your Defender 90, so they go on. BOWLER don't make parts to be pretty. They're not about making cars look aggressive but yet get driven around on the road. Everything that they make or modify for the cars is done so with purpose. It's just coincidental that they actually look really, really good. Now, there are other bits of bracing on the car. For example, you've got a big aluminium panel here that's a brace that goes right the way under the car all the way to the other side. That acts as a strengthening core, and there is an FIA roll cage inside as well, which is mounted to the subframe. So it's a very, very, very strong monocoque. It means that inside, when you're flying through rally stages like we have been here today, if things were to go wrong, you as a driver or a passenger are very, very well protected. Lots of other accessories and changes like plexiglass on the windows. If that's of course an obvious thing, just in case the worst were to happen, you haven't got glass going in, and of course it reduces some weight. But other than that, this is a Defender 90, exactly as you would find in the road going car, with a gearbox exactly as you would find in the road going car, just with some little trickery bits and pieces that I'll show you from the inside to show the main differences of how they work. The other difference as well, actually, I will point out, is aftermarket wipers, which you will have noticed when splashing through some puddles. They do come in handy. These are actually jets from a Discovery, so still a Land Rover model with some 3D printed parts to house them, but otherwise it's a Defender with number plates. You can drive this thing on the road every single day, perfectly legally. Let's hop inside. I'll show you some of the features and differences inside as well. Now, the main characteristic change between this and a standard road-going Defender, despite the fact that you've got a stock engine, a stock gearbox and a lot of stock parts, is the fact that there's something called BOWLER mode. Now, this is a very, very clever thing because, of course, JLR, Jaguar Land Rover, have spent many, many, many millions of pounds engineering a car that grips well in all conditions. It makes the wheels keep grip, it makes ABS keep everything in check, it means traction control keeps the car steering in the direction that you need to steer, and if you get into a spot of bother off-road, gets you out again. But all those clever systems don't work if you then want to slide the car around, if you intentionally want to have wheels spinning and cars sliding around on mud. So what the guys at BOWLER have done is they've given the car its own drive mode. They call it BOWLER mode. You switch it on with some switches down here on the cluster, and that disables ABS, it disables traction control. It even talks to the brake-by-wire system, so the car doesn't get overly confused and try to correct things that you want the car to do. But here's the luxury, because if you then want the car to be a Land Rover again, you simply turn off BOWLER mode and the car goes back into the standard form. All the computers and all the trickery is still there, so that if you did go out and get caught in a wet, boggy, muddy bath, switch off the modes, the Land Rover has all the clever computer things, and it will get you out and you can keep going. It's an absolutely remarkable thing. The other thing to point out is the fact that this, as a car, not only is it using a lot of parts that you'd find on your standard Defender 90, the actual geometry is exactly the same, bar some shocks, some shock absorbers front and back. Fox have engineered some amazing shock absorbers to deal with the really heavy bumps and lumps, but other than that, the car, geometry-wise, is exactly as you would find it in the shop. Even the tyres that these guys use, they're an off-the-shelf part, which is absolutely incredible. Now, the really exciting thing about this whole package is that it's available to enjoy by a consumer, by a driver, somebody like you, perhaps. For £130,000, you can be entered into the BOWLER competitive series. And what that gets you for that money is, firstly, a car, but it also gets you a support team with a support van, with tools and parts and extra bits and pieces, and if you were to need them, a shopping list of things to replace if perhaps something went wrong. But effectively, for that money, the fact that you're able to get a car and get entry to an amazing competitive series, it's pretty unbeatable. I mean, consider at the moment there are people currently paying £200,000 plus just to skip a waiting list and buy a Land Rover Defender 90. 130 grand. You get a race-prepared vehicle and entry to a series and an amazing community of people to race with.
Just right 2 front and left back.
So, there we have it. This has been a completely mind-expanding day. Firstly, learning how brilliant the Defender 90 is as a platform, and then how much more brilliant it can be with some amazing brains from the people from BOWLER doing what they've done to make this thing so competitive. But here's the really exciting thing. This is not the end of our journey with BOWLER. In fact, I've been having conversations today that may involve me taking another seat in one of these, but on a more competitive level next year. Watch this space for that. I feel like I have a lot of practicing and learning to do, but it's a very exciting proposition that I think you are going to enjoy joining us for. For now, I'll say goodbye. I'll say thank you very much for watching our latest video. Don't forget, if you're watching us on YouTube and you're feeling particularly generous, hit that subscribe button so that you'll see more content coming very similar to this. And if you hit the little bell, of course, you'll be notified of when we upload the video. If you want to catch the entire back catalogue of what we do, you can do that on our website, drivenchat.com, where you'll see photos, videos, written reviews, and of course the back catalogue of the Driven Chat podcast, all there for you to enjoy. And it's all for free. Love reminding you of that. We do all this for free. Aren't we generous? For now, I'll say thank you, I'll say goodbye, and we look forward to bringing you more content very soon.